So good morning everyone. Welcome to entrepreneurship session number 2. So yesterday we have covered the part 1 of creative problem solving and idea generation techniques. So today we will continue further. So let me first of all recap what we have done. We have seen different definitions of creativity. It all depends upon the perspective, and basically it's the ability to generate multiple ideas, right? And we have also referred to the difference between creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, and I mean we have seen till entrepreneurship, so startup also. So startup is the cumulative of all three: creativity, and entrepreneurship, right? So that's the startup. And we have briefly seen the functions of the left brain and the right brain. So let's continue further today. So we will see some myths and some facts. So the DNA myth, it's in my DNA, right? So it's not that the creativity, if someone in the family is very creative, he's the artist that the other person in the family generation might also be. So it's a myth, DNA myth, that you have to be have that genes in the family to be creative. No, nothing like that. Anyone can be creative, right? Today we will do an activity that you will learn to be creative within 2 minutes. So it's a myth. Then the eureka myth, right? The new idea sometimes seems to appear as a flash of insight, right? Now, it was that Apple has fallen to the Newton's head and he has developed gravitational theory. So not nothing like that. It's a myth actually. Ideas can come from anywhere, anytime, whether you are thinking, right, on the right direction, you are in the right frame of mind, and it clicks. Sometimes it clicks, but it's not always true. So it's a myth. Then, the Edison bulb, you might have heard of it, right? So he has, failed around 10,000 times. So he has seen in a different way that, 1,000 different methods to achieve the success. So he said, Thomas Edison said that I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Okay, so there is a different way perspective to see that, and now many will think that, okay, after 10,000 failures you have found a success, so there is no meaning to that success. No, it's even more. You have found 10,000 different ways that this might not work. Okay, so that's optimism for you. Then the expert myth. Now this is an alert staple. So what do you think looking at this picture, what it tells you? What do you interpret it from it? Can anyone share their thoughts?
When a red staple is used, that means that it's a time to refill the stapler.
Yeah. So can you imagine who has developed this, simple strategy? I will tell you, there was a competition held by Camlin. You might know that Camlin, developed this products, right? And, in school, right? So this technique was developed by, I don't know the exact age of that, in the group of in the age group of around 7 to 10 years. Okay, a girl student has developed this technique, alert stapler, because he used to see that in a family that they use the stapler a lot. So every time they have to check whether the this thing is empty or no. So yeah, so this was identified, and it's a very very simple solution, just an observation, right? And it was solved by a kid. Okay, so expert myth. Why it is called as an expert myth is that you don't have to be an expert to be creative, or right, 8 or 10 year old child, you cannot be an expert in anything, but still you are, even sharp. The normal people also might take some time to understand also what was the problem. Yeah, this is also an expert myth. Now this fellow over here, what is going on over here? Can you describe someone from the picture itself? What is he trying to do? The milkman.
Milk delivery with distancing.
Yeah, during the social distancing, you are not you have to keep the distance, and see the very simple innovative way he has developed to deliver the milk to the person. Correct. So you don't have to be an expert. A simple jugaad or simple Indian way of creativity might work, right? Then expensive myth, that creativity doesn't have to be expensive. It's just a myth. It's just a simple thing. It can not even cost you anything, right? Let's see an example. And I mean, there are many. I mean, just in the earlier case, the stapler, the alert stapler, it doesn't costed that girl anything at all. She just developed a technique to identify when the stapler pins will be getting over, right? So creativity doesn't have to be expensive. It has to be creative in its own way, and it doesn't cost anyone anything. The product myth. Now Apple iPhone has ruled the market recently, right? It has been a dominant phone which sells. And here, what do you notice from here? 5C, 5 iPhone 5s, 6, and 6 Plus. So what is this product meant? Can anyone identify what I'm trying to convey over here? What is the product myth I'm talking about?
It's not always what it looks from the appearance of the product. Like the almost all the series are looking similar, but all of them have different features.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that key you add a S or a C to the phone and plus 6 plus and 6, right? And there is a drastic difference, $100 difference between them, right? So it's not about that the product will, if it is a very highly priced, then only you should buy that. No, if it is satisfied, if you're satisfied with 5C, or even if you're satisfied with some other phone of similar much lesser price range, it will work. Your job is getting done, right? So sometimes, even if you don't need that expensive product, still you buy it to keep the status quo, to be like it's like a royalty, right? So not needed actually. Phone was the main function of the phone, to receive calls and to do calls. Nowadays, apart from that, everything is happening inside the phone, right? It's just like a computer. So yeah, product myth is like, you don't have to develop a product which is very high end features, right? You have to satisfy the maximum your reach of customers, right? So for that, they should be able to buy that. Now iPhone is not everyone can buy it, right? It is very expensive, and it's a royalty actually. Then there is something called as shopping experience. Online shopping, you must have also experienced it. Travel experience, how cabs are better than taxi. You are already understanding that Ola, if you book a Ola cab, and how it is better than a taxi. Now no need to say or discuss this point. Done. The myths part is over. Now some facts. Now there is a 20-20-20 rule to reduce the effect of digital eye strain. I guess you might have also heard of it. Like ever since the pandemic in March 2020 has hit, our life has become digital, right? It was not that prior to that it was not digital. It was also already happening. Everything was in the in your phones now. Even your TVs in the phones, right? All the episodes, everything, all the series, all the movies are there in the phone itself. Even you can do computer jobs, almost similar computer jobs in your phone itself, right? So it's a very important to give your eyes some rest. So take a break of 20 seconds from your routine work and look at something 20 feet away. You don't look very close it will put strain in your eye, right? And for every 20 minutes, right, look away from the screen, look into the nature, right? Look somewhere else, but not the screen. Okay, it will reduce your eye strain, right? So this is the 20-20-20 rule. This is a fact. Then Creativity, it is a skill which can be learned. It's not inherent. It's not in your DNA, right? It's a skill which can be learned. So let's differentiate between skill and a talent. So skill is something that you acquire after putting in a lot of hard work. Unlike talent, it is not inborn but learned. So talent is something that born with. It is your natural ability to do something without really thinking about it. Like in cricket, Sachin Tendulkar, he's very talented. I mean, he was very talented cricketer, right? When he was playing for his country. And skill is something when when you put in a lot of hard work, unlike talent. So that is what the skill and a talent difference is. So what are the top skills in 2020? Actually, these were the survey conducted in 2020, and these were the skills in 2020 and 2020, 2015, right? The creativity was at the bottom, and now see in 2020 it is in the number 3 position. Complex problem solving, these are the skills. Critical skill thinking, creativity is one of the skills which companies look for in the employees which are coming in. The skills company need the most in 2020. You can see over years the top 5 soft skills. They don't only look for the hard skills like technical skills, they also look for the soft skills. Is creativity, how creative you are. That will also add value add to their organization. Then creativity is a skill which can be learned. So do you want to improve your creativity in 2 minutes? So let's do this exercise. Activity time. So all of you, I have told you all to take a piece of paper, and you will improve your creativity in 2 minutes. So list the things which are normally green in color. You can list as many as you can. I'll give you 2 minutes time for this. I mean, not even 2 minutes, you can complete this within a minute only. List the things that are normally green in color. You look around you and list down everything which is green in color. It can be anything. When I tell you to, speak, you all can, one of you can speak about it, whatever you have written. If you want to type in the MS Teams chat, you can do that also. But I'll recommend that if you can, one of you can speak about it. You can speak whenever you are ready. Again, I repeat, list the things that are normally green in color. Anyone ready with the answer? Just as many as you can. List the things that are normally green in color. So the activity title is Improve Your Creativity in 2 minutes. This is just the first part. Second part I will tell you after you tell me the answer. So anyone wishes to speak, have listed down the things which are normally green in color. Anyone want to volunteer? You have to just list it down, that's it, and speak about the list. Anyone with the list of things that are normally green in color? So you must have listed down. Can you speak? Someone, what you have written in your list?
Sir, leaf, trees. green light and traffic light. Then some of the sports field like football and all.
Okay, very good. What else?
The word green in this PPT.
Yes. What else? Okay, so now, you must have listed some words. So I mean, listed some things. So there might be number. Their number might be 5 or 6 or 2 or even 7 or 10. Right. Now let's continue this activity further. Right. So this is about give me green. So these are the things which can be green: powder, liquid, road sign, vegetable, fruit, flag, and logo. Right. So now you can add to the list. Now you can add to that list and see how many you can add to that existing list. You have to just tell me the number, don't tell me the things now. So if I show you this, then you can think of how many things you can add more. So just tell me the number that my previously I had this much and now I have added this much. Definitely it will be, you know greater than the previous one. Is it greater than the previous list which you have written first? If I show you this keywords, right? Can someone please acknowledge that?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, sir.
So see, yeah. So no one taught you to to write it. No one has taught you ki no note down the things which are green in color. You have to be vigilant. You observe, and every day you use green also. So you have just listed down, and these are some keywords, right? Which immediately strikes you. Okay, liquid can be green, road signal can be green, vegetable, fruit, flag also can be green, even a logo can be green, right? Now the possibility is just endless over here. I mean, this is just a small list I've given over here, right? So this is a simple exercise to improve your creativity level. Now another challenge. So here you see a 30 circles challenge. So what you need to do is you need to connect them together creatively. You need to connect them together creatively, or not connect them together. You have to do something with them such that they looks creative. You can join them together. You can keep them separate. So it's a 30 circles challenge. So for this, I might again give you 2 minutes time. You can draw the circles in your books, and you can showcase what you have drawn. You can attach your work in the MS Teams chat, or if you want to show it live, presenting your screen, that is also an option. So I'll just wait for 2 minutes for you to complete this 30 circles challenge. You have to, you know, do it innovatively. It can be unique, it can be connected together, but do something unique or creative. So let's see how creative you are. I repeat, it's a 30 circles challenge. So, you have to make it look funny or very, very creative or very intelligent. So, it should be something different. You have to fill the circles or you have to connect them together. You can use them individually, but every circle or every circle should be very, very creative. So, you can write it on a piece of paper and you can upload in the chat. I can have a look at it, or we can. I will also share it with all. So if you're not able to complete in 2 minutes, in entire lecture's time, you can also upload it in the chat, or even after the lecture, you can do that. No problem at all. I have to move ahead in a minute now because other contents are also left out from this topic. So if someone is ready, you can post in the chat box so that I can share it with all. Or else no problem at all. You can even try it out, whenever you have the time. Okay, anyone completed? Just say yes or no. You can attach that later. No problem at all. I have to move ahead. Any one of you all have? Some of you all have completed, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So you can attach it in the MS Teams. You have already completed that. You have that sheet. You can attach it now. I see. This is what students do. 30 circles exercise. Some students do it like this. Some students do. This is the measure of creativity, right? So you see 30 circles. I mean, these are lesser circles than that, but yeah, that is what can be done. So this will test the creativity level. Every circle is unique. No circle is same. So this is the 30 circles challenge. You can combine them together, right? And you can do a lot of things, but this cannot be completed. I agree. This cannot be completed in 2 minutes time, but very basic things can be completed in 2 minutes, just like this. But this is the advanced level of creativity, and that is another one, right? So I would like to see what you have done, right? Originally, when we were given 2 minutes time, so you can, even measure your creativity level. It's endless actually. So this was the 15 square test. So I have myself given this, so I have drawn this, on my own, right? This was a 15 square test which was given to us, and we have been given 5 minutes to complete what I have drawn. So this is OneNote application wherein I have drawn in that. Yeah, so someone has shared their photo. I would like to see that. Okay, fine. Very good. Rachit, very good. Innovatively, you have used those circles, maybe not exactly all 30, but yes, that is also good. So point is that doing this simple exercises, normally these things no one will tell you to do, right? And these are the simple things to improve your thinking process. So there is a video on where do ideas come from. Now in 1 month you have to think about the ideas, what problem or valid, I mean, what are the problems worth solving, you have to identify, right? So this all these activities and this sessions will be towards that only, right? So let us discuss where do ideas come from. It's a short video.
For the past 5 years, I've been investigating this question of where good ideas come from. It's the kind of problem I think all of us are intrinsically interested in. We want to be more creative. We want to come up with better ideas. We want our organizations to be more innovative. I've looked at this problem from an environmental perspective. What are the spaces that have historically led to unusual rates of creativity and innovation? And what I've found in all of these systems, there are these recurring patterns that you see again and again that are crucial to creating environments that are unusually innovative. One pattern I call the slow hunch, that breakthrough ideas almost never come in a moment of great insight, in a sudden stroke of inspiration. Most important ideas take a long time to evolve, and they spend a long time dormant in the background. It isn't until the idea has had 2 or 3 years, sometimes 10 or 20 years to mature, that it suddenly becomes accessible to you and useful to you in a certain way. Partially because good ideas normally come from the collision between smaller hunches so that they form something bigger than themselves. So you see a lot in the history of innovation, cases of someone who has half of an idea. There's a great story about the invention of the World Wide Web in Tim Berners-Lee. This is a project that Berners-Lee worked on for 10 years. But when he started, he didn't have a full vision for this new medium he was going to invent. He started working on one project as a side project to help him organize his own data. He scrapped that after a couple of years, and he started working on another thing. And only after about 10 years did the full vision of the World Wide Web come into being. That is, more often than not, how ideas happen. They need time to incubate, and they spend a lot of time in this partial hunch form. The other thing that's important when you think about ideas this way is that when ideas take form in this hunch state, they need to collide with other hunches. Oftentimes, the thing that turns a hunch into a real breakthrough is another hunch that's lurking in somebody else's mind. And you have to figure out a way to create systems that allow those hunches to come together and turn into something bigger than the sum of their parts. That's why, for instance, the coffee house in the age of the Enlightenment or the Parisian salons of modernism were such engines of creativity because they created a space where ideas could mingle and swap and create new forms. When you look at the problem of innovation from this perspective, it sheds a lot of important light on the debate we've been having recently about what the internet is doing to our brains. Are we getting overwhelmed with an always connected, multitasking lifestyle? And is that going to lead to less sophisticated thoughts as we move away from the slower, deeper, contemplative state of reading, for instance? Obviously, I'm a big fan of reading, but I think it's important to remember that the great driver of scientific innovation and technological innovation has been the historic increase in connectivity and our ability to reach out and exchange ideas with other people and to borrow other people's hunches and combine them with our hunches and turn them into something new. That really has, I think, been more than anything else, the primary engine of creativity and innovation over the last 600 or 700 years. And so, yes, it's true we're more distracted. But what has happened that is really miraculous and marvelous over the last 15 years is that we have so many new ways to connect and so many new ways to reach out and find other people who have that missing piece that will complete the idea we're working on, or to stumble serendipitously across some amazing new piece of information that we can use to build and improve our own ideas. That's the real lesson of where good ideas come from, that chance favors the connected mind.
Yeah. So that completes part 2. Now we will move on to part 3, creative problem solving and idea generation techniques. So if you are at peace with yourself, then only you can be at peace with outside world. You might have heard about this also before. Then this was a famous, this thing, Karuna meditation, that if you're physically active, then only you're mentally relaxed, right? So you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. So that's the meditation which, works. If you cannot go out, you go in. And you should always have some me time, 10 minutes in a day. It's a kind of a new type of upvas. Living one day without mobile, vehicle, Facebook, internet, PC or a laptop. I mean, I am not encouraging you all to set away your PC or a laptop or internet for a day. It will you can do it in a weekdays, right? Try to get get a real peace of mind staying away from that for some time. Maybe 10 minutes. Be away from your phone. All distractions, keep away, right? Keep yourself away from your mobile, vehicle, Facebook, internet, PC for 10 minutes. So yeah, that's what I was saying. If you can't go outside, go inside. So spend some time with yourself. And now we will discuss about the ways to create creativity. So, you will be surprised at ways to increase your creativity. Like we have written over here, be a child. Yes, you have read it right. Be a child. Be a child-like, curious mind, fearless, trusting, resilient, kind, happy, engaged, energetic, and fun-loving. These are all childlike qualities. So there is a difference between be a childlike, not childish. Now childish will be short-tempered, needy, greedy, aggressive, jealous, suspicious, stressed, tired, and ashamed. So you should avoid being childish, but be childlike. Okay, and you should think out of the box. Okay, where normal, stereotype, break the stereotype and think out of the box. Unlock your imagination, right? A mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open. So don't constrain yourself with the technicalities or with the limited resources which you have. No, your mind is infinite. You can imagine, you don't know unless you try. So this is a slight simple example of rainwater harvesting. Yeah, where other people use the umbrella for protecting from the rain. In this picture, it has been used harvesting. This is another example of creativity, correct? So normally, small kids, the chairs are designed so that adults and normal teenagers can use that, right? For small kids, you have separate chairs, but the idea is to combine the, for adult as well as small kids. So as you can see over here, very innovative design of a chair. Now this is also under another innovative solution to keep the, coffee cup or a tea cup, right, when you're working. And ways to increase creativity, again, alternate uses, identify alternate uses of things. So for example, can you tell me what are the alternate uses of a pen? Apart from its main use, can you tell some alternate uses of a pen?
A hole puncher.
Okay, yes, correct.
Sir, the electrician uses it to secure the lock, child lock in the switches.
Yes, absolutely correct. What else? Imagine, there's limit, it's limitless. What can use pen for?
A fidget
So,
spinner.
Yes. What else?
so women may use it to tie their hair or lock their hair.
Yes, why not? We have seen that. What
Yeah.
else? What else? Think.
So some people use it to clean their ears.
Yes, yeah, correct. Correct. It's a limit. It's limitless. I think there are many alternate uses of the same thing. So you should look out for alternate uses of things which you commonly use and see that where it leads to you. Now, this was a simple handkerchief which was turned into a face mask. A simple handkerchief was around, let's say, 2025, and this kind of a, it became a face mask, and people were, selling it at a much higher price. So that's an alternate use of an handkerchief. How many uses you can think of a paperclip? So yeah, right now we have less time. So these are the examples which I'm giving you. This is identify alternate uses. Then another thing is don't worry, be happy. So one of the ways to increase the creativity is to be happy. So are you happy? Yes, then keep going. If no, then change something. So happy people produce 37% higher scale according to a survey. Right now, those who are working, and even if you're happy, your results will also improve and you will have a better quality of life. So that's why the saying, don't worry, be happy. So here it is, the more facts. Happy people produce 37% higher sales. they are 31% more productive, and they are 3x creative, 3 times creative than the normal person. So that's why we say, don't worry, be happy. Then how can one be happy? Be with the happy people, watch comedy or cartoon shows, watch funny videos, read or share jokes, and be in a laughter club. So yeah, so this is one of the clubs which as you can see, they are very happy and they are laughing out together. So yeah, sharing happiness with each other. So what makes you happy? You have to find your passion, right? What you love to do. So that's why be a child. Then next way to increase your creativity is observe and capture, right? Observe the things around and capture that information. So you can keep your idea wall, you can keep a small, a journal or a small pad wherein you can note down and observe the things of your daily life. And you should use all your senses, 5 senses: touch, hear, taste, smell, and sight. All of them you can use it and observe the things around. Now this is Amul board, right, which we use, billboard actually, which they use it very very creatively. I think they are one of the most creative ad campaign which they have, right? So when India won the Melbourne test, right, this is what they have displayed in the billboard: Melbourne again, Ajinkya Makkal. So yeah, so they promote Amul as well as in a very very creative manner. So they are very observant and very creative. Then this is actually kind of a funny. This is a wedding sponsored by Narolac Paints. So as you can see, all the different colors, right, including white, and you can see something unique. This is if you don't have to always have a bicycle or a you know this thing to exercise. You can exercise even sitting, even sitting at your place. So this is an innovative chair in a public place, right? In Sweden actually they have implemented this. So they have kept it in the public places, and wherein the people can sit and exercise themselves. So it's an innovative solution actually. And this is Chendogu, which is normally an art of creativity in Japan. You will feel that, okay, oh, this also can be done. So you can see normally an umbrella, but this is like an umbrella come raincoat type of a thing, wherein it protects you from the rain, right? Then again, you have seen the toothpaste opening from one side, but here they have used creativity to, in a simple way, simple things, two-way toothpaste, right? So productively, you can use that again. The same thing, you can use it productively. So that's why you have to keep an idea journal to capture everyday inspiration which you learn. And you never know, you can connect the dots and maybe you can come out with a new solution altogether for the same thing. So also, this is the reminder what we have done so far in part 3. So tools to improve creativity is meditation, be a child, not childish, thinking out of the box, unlocking your imagination, alternate uses, be happy, and observe and capture. Now let's move on to part 4, that is creative problem solving and idea generation techniques. Yeah, so there are different modes of thinking: divergent thinking and convergent thinking, right? So divergent thinking is using your imagination, and convergent thinking is all about using logic. So convergent thinking is deciding what to do, right? You have a lot of things and you're converging into one. And so that is what convergent thinking is: finding the right one solution to a problem. You have a lot of solutions, you focus down into one particular solution. So it's a straightforward process that focuses on finding out the most innovative, effective answer to a problem. Divergent thinking is the process of generating multiple ideas. So for a given solution or a topic, right? So it will explore the possibilities. You're just thinking about the solutions, right? So it refers to opening the mind in the various directions and trying out multiple solutions for the problem. You don't know right now which solution will click. So you think of different solutions, and that is what is called as divergent thinking. So yeah, this is the innovation process. You start with the divergent thinking, and then you select the one with the convergent thinking. So that is one tool to be creative. Okay, there are some tools to be creative. So one such tool is Scamper. Okay, the Scamper was proposed by Alex in 1953 and was developed by Bob in 1971 in his book. So Scamper is a tool for creativity or idea generation. Many companies have used it to innovate their product. Let's see that quickly. So yeah, this was the person I was talking about. So Scamper is a acronym for 7 techniques: substitute, combine, adapt, modify or magnify, purpose, then eliminate or minify, and R as for rearrange and reverse. So let's see that one by one. So substitute technique focus on the parts in the product or services that can be replaced with another. It can be components, material, or people itself. So yeah, you see, you have substituted. Normally you have a key to open a lock. So here they have simple substitute with numbers. Substitute your key with numbers. So that's then substitute tool used for. Substitute your whiteboard for a blackboard. This is very common actually. So you can substitute your key lock to a number lock, pen cap to a flash drive, metal to plastic, service waiter to self-service, and blackboard to whiteboard. So these are the few techniques, few examples where substitute is being used. Next is combine. So the combined techniques tend to analyze the possibilities of merging two ideas, stages of process or products into one more efficient output. Okay. So the combining two innovative ideas can lead to a new product or technology for itself. So let us see, they have, it is a very, a water, preserving water kind of a technique. So you combine your wash basin with your flush tanks, right? Normally, whenever you wash your hands, that water goes into waste. And normally the water in the flush tank, you have to, flush it out. So yeah, you can combine them together and you can have an innovative way of preserving water. You can combine a water basin with a flush tank. We have seen that before. Fork with spoon, shampoo with oil, Swiss knife. You know the features. Kitchen equipments, pizza holder with scissors. So you can have all those things. You can combine together 2 or more things, and that is where you will get a innovative or a solution. Then comes the adapt. Okay, I'll just take you 5 minutes more. Adapt refers to a brainstorming discussion that aims to adjust or tweak a product or a service for a better output, right? So this adjustment can range between a minor changes or a radical change. So it refers to the best or a unique practices in a different field. So yeah, here it is an example of adapt, right? The lotus effect, a repellent technique adapted from a lotus plant, right? You make such a textile that such a manner that they are like, water resistant. So what is water resistance? You have adapted from the lotus effect. So dirt repellent properties of lotus plant is used for materials. Then car door design as used as bird wings. Robot arm design as an elephant trunk. Open book exam. So these are all adaptive techniques examples. Then we have modify. So the modify technique refer to changing a process in a way that unleashes more innovative capabilities or solve problems. So magnify, what to add, more time, greater frequency, stronger, higher, larger, and longer. So let's see an example. So here is actually we know that in mountains we don't have to. So it's a matter of minify or minimize the bicycle. So you can carry it around also, right? It's very difficult to carry an actual bicycle, ahead in the mountains. So you carry as a backpack. Then magnify or minify. The cars which are being magnified, right? And minify, the computers are, laptops have become smaller and smaller. So modify, minify or magnify, you can make a portable cycle, stretch the car into a limo, nano car, desktop to laptop to mobile, as you can see, and jumbo playing cards. Next is P is put to another use. So this technique concerns how to put the current product or a process into another purpose and how to use the existing to solve the problems. So this technique can be used to learn how to shift an existing product to another market segment or a user type. So yeah, this is put to another use. Normally the tires, which are which are to be thrown can be reused like this. Tire can be used at swings, right? So yeah, this is a railway compartment, discarded railway compartment, which is acting as a bridge, as you can see over here. So and during the, whenever the in the first during the first wave and all, we have used, our country has used railway coaches as hospitals also. So yeah, then we have eliminate. So the eliminate technique will identify the part of the process that can be eliminated to improve the process, product or service. Okay. So yeah, noise cancellation headphones, might have heard of it. Then we have eliminated the cordless telephones. Nowadays you won't find them very often. So eliminate or elaborate. So you can these are the examples which you can use. Noise cancellation in headphones is one of them. Then reverse or rearrange. So reverse or rearrange technique aims to explore the innovative potential when the changing the order of the product process in the production line. Okay. So reversing the process or a part of it can help solve a problem or produce a more innovative output. So let's look an example of it. So this is a chair which can be rearranged into a table form. So that's an example. Yeah, you might have seen this Dabur honey, right? So it is completely reversed. The cap is at the bottom over here in this case. So yeah, that's another innovation. I mean, you might have seen in pictures, but this is a reality. The upside down house, right? You have your roof at the bottom and bottom at the top of the roof. Yeah, there are houses which are in this design. So yeah, this is a scamper tool used for Oreo biscuit, right? What you can reverse, what you can eliminate, what you can put to another use, modify, adapt, combine or substitute. See, over to you. I mean, I will leave up to you. You can use the scamper tool to make this product more innovative, right? So this is an example of how KitKat used this technique. Original idea they have substituted with the milk bar, then they have combined with make it crunchy, then they have adapted to in terms of ice cream, then they have multiplied and magnified it to a larger package, put to another use, they have put in a jar, they have eliminated one. Normally there were two pieces, they have eliminated one and kept it as single, and they have rearranged into a small biscuit chocolates. Yeah, so that is how they have used this camper tool. Nano design was also based on the scamper tool. That's the other story, that why it was not so much hit. But yeah, that is also have used adaptability, eliminated, substitute, minimize, and adapt. Yeah. So this was based on the scamper. So you can also use this scamper for your life. Okay. For simple example is you can substitute cold water with warm water, combine travel with TED Talks, routine, waking up early, add raw vegetables to your diet, TV time to Sudoku, then eliminate procrastination, reversed, to-do list at evening, right? So these are all scamper. You can apply scamper to anything. Okay. Then again, a simple tool to be, now I will rush through the slides. Simple tool to be creative will be, wow. So it was an experience, a creativity in the service actually. So what is wow? Wow is actually experience upon expectation. So yeah, whenever you go inside a hotel, it is used in the hotel industry. Your expectations are, whenever you book a room, clean bed sheets, hot water, free Wi-Fi, tea, coffee machine, and TV. If you have this, your experience. If you have, if your room service is providing all of that, then you have your expectations and experience is one. If they provide extra tub massage shower, complimentary dinner, fruit basket, free airport drop, return gift, then your experience is greater than your expectation. Then your wow becomes greater than one, right? So yeah, whenever your experience is greater than expectation, what can be done? You can add, I mean, not you, those who are running the hotels and have offering the, service in the bed, so they can coconut water as a welcome drink, fastest check-in, luggage before you reach, welcome on the TV screen, racetracks view room, complimentary pass for a gala dinner. So these are all the experiences which hotel industry can add into. Then another experience is in Exa, showroom. So at delivery time, they have a unique experience. They have a puja for a coconut and all, peda, key photos before you leave, upload on social media, video links for a car manual, fuel filled instead of a coupon, right? So this is what Nexa, experience looks like. Right? The post sales, they have feedback with a difference, right? There was a customer who gave 9 out of 10, let's say, to the feedback personnel. So he asked the question, why 9? Do we not deserve 10? Right? So that is what their commitment is. Restaurant industry also, the whole industry focus is to provide with an experience that lasts long, quality of food, delivery. They have to excel in all to retain the customers. So that's why your creativity plays a role. Greatest challenge is a queue, right? We have a lot of malls and a lot of service centers, shopping centers, but queue is, you cannot eliminate. So is there a solution to it? Yes, Amazon Go, no lines, no checkout, correct? So that's an example which they have used. So the wow experience can be, further extended to products for customer satisfaction in general, which gives the customers the wow experience, are likely to sell more and survive longer. Okay, so the better the wow, the better is the recall, right? So we have come to the end. I want to acknowledge Mr. Rajiv Tulpale from the FDP on entrepreneurship and innovation at Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Okay, and some of the Google images. So we have come to the end of this session, and sorry I have took your extra time, but I hope that some of the tech tools of creativity you all will be using for searching for your product. Your idea for your venture. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have any questions, you can ask.